Alright, hi everyone. Welcome to today's video. On the day it's being recorded, it is Monday, November 25th, 2024. So, it's just after 8 o'clock. I've just gotten off of work. It is raining a little bit, but it's like mist rain, so I think we'll be fine. And apparently we're under an air quality alert, which the hell does that have to do with anything? Because, yeah, you know. So, this week, it's going to be kind of weird, but, you know, it's Thanksgiving week. I work today, well, okay, not counting today. I work tomorrow, and then I have, oh God. And then I have Wednesday off, but I'm here Thursday on Thanksgiving, and then I'm here Friday. So either I'll get paid, I actually don't know if I'm going to get paid on Wednesday or if it'll go through on Friday. I actually don't know, because Thanksgiving is a federal holiday. Who was the first president to initiate Thanksgiving being a national holiday? I think it was Lincoln. Yeah, it was Lincoln. And he was also the first president to pardon a turkey. And that tradition has been around practically ever since. And in fact, earlier today, or was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or today. I don't know, it was pretty recent, but Biden officially pardoned the turkey for this year. Because the president, I mean, they don't have to, but it seems like every single president since Lincoln, every year around Thanksgiving, always pardons a turkey. I mean, I don't know if every president since Lincoln has, but I actually don't know. Being brutally honest, I might have to look into that, actually. So, yeah. Now, but yeah, I do unfortunately have to work on Thanksgiving, but I mean, it shouldn't be too bad, honestly. I'm probably gonna have maybe, I don't know. If I were to guess, probably at least, probably at least probably at least, if I had to guess how many transports I'll have on Thanksgiving, I'd probably say around 15 or so. That would be my guess. So, yeah. Hell, I might actually bring my new modded game system to work that day. Yeah, the other day, my cousin Vinny came by. Donkey Kong Land 2 on the Game Boy on the Switch, huh? I don't even know what Donkey Kong Land is. Is it like Mario Land, but with Donkey Kong? I don't know, I'll have to look into that. But anyways, yeah, my cousin Vinny came into town because I guess one of my mom's uncles died and had his funeral the other day, which is something that none of us knew. And he dropped off this already modded like game system that it honestly looks like it's roughly about the same size as a Game Boy Advance SP. So yeah, I looked at it and took a little look at it, and you know, all that stuff, and I haven't fully messed with it ever since you know, the day I got it. Well, technically the night I got it. But yeah, it's pretty much almost the same size as the Game Boy Advance SP, but maybe a bit bigger. Has one screen, has A, B, X, and Y buttons. It's got has a R, R2, L, and L2 buttons. And then start select. It's actually pretty damn cool, I have to admit. Have I fully played it? No, not really, but I mean, I tested it out to see what all was on there, and there's a lot of games for a lot of systems. It goes as far back as like the Atari 5200. I'm like, damn, that far back? Let's see here. The most recent system that it has, it goes all the way up to at least PSP. So now if I were to actually like play it, I might just play it just only for like Pokemon. And he also said that there are a bunch of Pokemon ROM hacks. He definitely said I should definitely try out Unbound, which is a ROM hack. I've only played a few of the ROM hacks. I played a little bit of Ash Gray. Which is pretty much Fire Red and Leaf Green, but adapted to the anime. And there was another that I played on GBA for iOS back in the day. The starter in that game was Axew, one of the two pseudo-legendary dragons of Gen 5, which I'm like, Axew? That's Gen 5. I don't remember what the game was, but I kind of liked it. It was interesting. Although I'm actually not sure if I should do ROM hacks for my game channel. I actually don't know. Be kind of cool, but I mean, if I were to play any ROM hacks, maybe, just maybe, I would definitely do like Ash Gray. I feel like that's definitely a must. But yeah, Ash Gray would definitely be one I would do. Maybe I would do Unbound, because everyone on all my Pokemon Facebook groups has been saying like, hey, here's my team for Unbound. It's really good. And I'm like, well, maybe. But yeah, I'll have to fully dedicate a lot of time and effort in order to do it. But see, my thing is that I'm already playing a bunch of games on my other phone, you know, for my channel. And I just have another game system that can play almost damn near anything. But, you know, I don't know. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I'll have to do like some kind of video about it. And just to, you know, to show it off, and some of the games that are on it, and all the systems that of the types of games it could play, and it's actually kind of cool. All I've done is I've kind of looked at all the games on it and just kind of let it charge, and that's kind of where we stand. It does have a USB port, or not USB port, but an HDMI in case I want to play it on like a bigger screen on like my TV, which is kind of cool. Okay, cool. Okay, good. I have both my phones. I have my AirPods, I have my keys, and my badge. I definitely need to make sure I have my keys and badge. If I don't have my keys, I can't get into my house until Mom gets home. And if I don't have my badge, I can't get into work until, well, you know, I can't get into work for tomorrow. And I can't fully do my job. Shit. So yeah. Oh yeah, one thing I needed to make sure I do for tomorrow at work. I need to go up to my team lead and the managers and be like, hey, it's already put into Chronos that these are the days that I requested off. And before you ask, yes, it is after the holidays. So yeah, I kind of go up through the social hierarchy. Every time I have a day that I need to request off or whatever, I always start with my team lead, because honestly I feel like I can always go up to her. But, you know, my scheduling, plus, you know, she handles all the scheduling for transport anyways. But it's just the manager that has to approve it. And I still have a whole bunch of tap. Like, as far as I know, I still probably have like 160 hours of tap right now. Something like that. So I'm probably gonna have to end up taking, well, let's see here, between New Year's and the first holiday, where the holiday schedule goes into effect for the new year, technically doesn't begin until Memorial Day. So I could probably take like a spring break vacation. For 2 weeks. I could figure out when do I want to do it, and you know, all that. I mean, I know how to do it on my phone, but I actually don't know how much tap I actually have. Probably around February or March, I'll take a look to see what I have in terms of yeah, just to see where I'm at in terms of, yeah, just to see where I'm at in terms of how much tap I have. So we're at 16 minutes into this video. And I actually don't know what else I could possibly even talk about. Other than the fact that... Oh, I guess there's something else I can talk about. It's kind of within that same territory. So I'm requesting off 2 days in January. And yes, they are political related. I kind of wanted it to be 3, but I mean, technically I could put that day in, but I mean, that's a Tuesday. Yeah, it would be a Tuesday. Okay, so let's just start this. Between now and when Trump gets inaugurated for his second term, there are 3 political dates that I really want to watch with my own 2 eyes. The first is December 17th. And what's the significance of December 17th? Well, December 17th is when all the electors for the Electoral College, the ones that we the people voted for on election day, meet in their respective state capitals to officially cast a ballot for President of the United States. Like, based on state. And just to reiterate, we the people do not directly vote for the president, but instead we're voting for a group of electors that will eventually make the vote of president on the citizens' behalf. And electors are a group of people chosen by the party in advance, and they're the ones that cast the state's official ballot. So both parties, Democrat and Republican, are chosen in advance by each respective party, and according to election day, of whoever wins the popular vote for the president in each state, that party's electors will be the electors chosen to become, they will be electors in order to vote for the next president. So, for example, the vast majority of the people in Ohio voted for Donald Trump for president. So therefore, all the electors that equal to the electoral votes for Ohio will go to the State House in Columbus on December 17th and cast the state's official ballot. You shouldn't be texting and driving, you dumb bitch. It looked like you were on Facebook, actually. But anyways, I'm getting off topic here. So, the number of electors is basically the entire state's congressional representation in Congress for both houses. Because it's based on a state's population plus 2. That's how many electors every state has. So, for example, Ohio has 17, well, actually has 15 congressional districts plus 2 senators, because, you know, every state has 2 senators, no matter how big or small in population that state is. So, every group of electors for Ohio for this election cycle, whether you're Republican or Democrat, okay, that's interesting. Oh, that's why. But yeah, regardless of what party that you're affiliated with, and you know you're an elector, whichever party wins the state by the popular vote for president, which is where you hear the term projected winner, then you would become part of the group of electors that will cast the state's official ballot in December. So who exactly are the electors? Well, basically all of these states' electors are usually party officials, and in a case, sometimes they can be local government officials. Like, I think it goes as far as high up as to, like, if you hold some form of governmental office for your state, like state representative, state senator, attorney general, governor, whatever. It's different based on state, but you know, it's just a general term. It's just really party officials of whatever party it is from that state, either Democrat or Republican. But yeah, since the people of Ohio mostly voted for Trump, Ohio's 17 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. So yeah, that's a day I want to request off so I can watch it, because it's being live streamed from the State House in Columbus. Oh, little town of Bethlehem. Oh yeah, that is the city Christmas tree right here in the plaza. So I'm actually kind of curious. This is kind of off topic. Sorry, I keep getting off topic. I actually wonder what the actual center of the entire town is. Like the geological center of the entire town. I'm actually kind of curious. Because I don't know if it's anything on Main Street, Center Street, Prospect. State. I actually don't know. I mean, this is downtown, so you would think it would be somewhere downtown. But, who knows. Alright, sorry I got off topic. But yeah, December 17th is when the Electoral College officially meets to cast each state's respective electoral votes. Ohio's is that day, obviously. It won't take, that joint session or whatever won't happen until noon on that day. So even if I can't get that day off, which it's probably unlikely, I'm gonna have to state it in writing to request that day off, but I'll have to also put it into the system when I get home too, just that way I'm not lying about it or whatever. I mean, I have enough tap. It's just it's getting to the point in time where it's the colder season and the holidays, and people want to request time off to go out and do stuff with like family. No one's turning. Cool. At least not yet. Well, let's see here. Second day that I am requesting off. Now this is going into the new year. It is January 3rd of 2025. What big political thing happens on January 3rd? Well, in every year, ending with an odd number, is the year that the new Congress goes into full effect. Which the House of Representatives have to first, establish a quorum, and then they have to vote on who their speaker is. In which the House cannot officially do anything until they vote on a speaker, which sometimes can be one ballot, sometimes it can be over 100 ballots. Or in the case that happened at the beginning of the last Congress, which, you know, our current Congress, 118, it took them 15 ballots to pick a speaker. And, you know, obviously once they pick a speaker, they can actually start doing stuff. There was a cute chick that walked out of Papa John's, and she was kind of cute, kind of skinny, but you know, I don't mind it. Okay. Meanwhile, over in the Senate, all the new senators that either won their first seat or was reelected to their current seat, those senators are then to sign a book to note that, hey, we are now being, you know, sworn in. They do it based on groups of like 5 or 6. And they get sworn in by the then current vice president. Well, actually, no, I lied. There's actually 4 political events between now and when Trump gets reelected or gets sworn in. I lied. Sorry, folks. I just realized that there was another, which is the next one. Which actually, I think I have that day off anyways, January 3rd. And then, you know, obviously, of course, for the start of the new Congress and the Senate, all senators have to mark their presence to establish a quorum. Nominate, I think they actually vote on a president pro tempore, which is the senator of the majority party with the longest service. Which currently, the most seniority Republican with the longest service is Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa. I actually don't know if it's going to be him or not, but he's currently in the Senate, and he's 95, folks. The oldest president pro tempore is said president pro tempore is like 98. Do I know who exactly that is? No, I don't. But just know that the president pro tempore of the Senate is the presiding officer in the absence of the vice president. Because according to the Constitution, the vice president is technically the president of the Senate. But, you know, they should have... The only power that the vice president technically has for the Senate is to swear in new senators and break the tie if the senators are evenly split on an issue, either a bill or a confirmation or anything. Oh, what we got here? I think it's done sprinkling, so I can have this off, I guess. Good, because I was starting to sweat real bad too. So yeah, the Senate gets sworn in by the vice president. Quorum has been established, and the Senate will officially begin their proceedings for the new Congress. Now, what happens if the House doesn't pick their speaker by the end of January 3rd? Well, all I can say is that if the current president and vice president are removed from office for any reason, then the speaker pro tempore would technically become president. And if that were to happen, because technically the Speaker of the House is technically after the Vice President in terms of succession, and after the Speaker would be the President pro tempore of the Senate, which are members of Congress, and they're still elected and chosen by the people. So they are a little more acceptable to, to be, president if something were to happen to both. But luckily, in terms of the presidential succession, like to the presidency, thankfully we have never went past the vice president. I mean, sure, we've enacted it 9 times, 8 through death and 1 through resignation. Because technically, if the vice president had to succeed to the duties of president, either through death, resignation, impeachment, or otherwise, and the vice president becomes the next president, he or she would technically nominate a vice president and would have to be approved by both houses of Congress. According to the, I think it's the 25th Amendment. But, again, as I've already said, we haven't gone past vice president in terms of succession, which that would be a whole bunch of problems. But yeah, it is possible that we don't have a Speaker of the House after January 3rd, and we do have a President pro tempore. It can happen, and it has happened before. Actually quite a few times, but, But, that's a whole disaster, so yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen again, or whatever. So, anyways, day 1, December 17th, Ohio certifying their electoral votes for president. Hopefully I get to have that day off. 2, January 3rd, even though more likely I think I have that day off, but I'll have to double check. And it's the opening day of the 119th Congress, where both houses of Congress will establish a quorum. The House will vote on their speaker. And the Senate will, I'm pretty sure they vote who their president pro tempore is, I think. I don't know. I honestly don't know how the Senate does it, so I will have two screens on of Congress. If I am off on that day already. One will be the House and the other will be the Senate. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Day 3, January 6th. That is the day of the joint session of Congress, which hopefully the House has their speaker. And they will certify all 538 electoral votes from all 50 states and DC. Now, will a storming of the Capitol happen again? I don't know. I actually honestly don't know. So that's also a reason why I wanted to get the day off so I can watch them certify the Electoral College. Now, the funny thing is that with J.D. Vance being elected vice president, he's technically the first millennial to hold that office, which means that technically any millennial could technically run for president. We can have a young president again instead of an old-ass president. I would love to see it happen, but gotta find a good one, I guess. And J.D. Vance is he's almost 40. He's still a millennial, but hey, maybe soon his time will come to be next president for 2028, but we'll see. And the last day, of course, January 20th, which is Trump's inauguration. Now, of course, the vice president the hell was all that about? Now, the vice president will be the first to be sworn in. The vice president will more likely be sworn in before noon, while the president himself will be sworn in at noon. The person given the oath of office to the President of the United States, it will be the Chief Justice. So in this case, Chief Justice John Roberts will be administering the oath of office to the President. The President of the United States has always been sworn in by the Chief Justice, by administering the oath of office, except for George Washington's first inauguration, or should I say the inaugural. George Washington's inaugural was being sworn in by Robert Livingston, who I believe was the Chancellor of New York, which, if I'm recalling correctly, would technically be I think Chancellor is technically considered governor. I don't know, I'll have to look into that one. But yeah, the vice president will be sworn in first. And then a few hours later, Trump will then be sworn in as president. He will give his inaugural address. And soon, he will give his inaugural address. And then a whole bunch of other presidential things will be going on. But, yeah, that's all I have to say, actually. Now, I'm pretty sure that I would have to request... I know I requested January 6th and January 20th. I know I already did that much. I requested those days. But I'm pretty sure that the 17th of December is a Tuesday. That's in like 2-3 weeks. So I'm going to have to put it in when I get home. And then I'm going to have to rewrite my sticky note that I was going to give to my team lead and managers tomorrow, to where I include it. And, oh shit, it's starting to rain again. And I'll have to double check to see if I actually have January 3rd off. If I do, cool. Then I can sit there, watch Congress, both houses of Congress, and well, I already know how the funny thing is, when it comes to Congress, the one I probably know the most about would be the House of Representatives. The Senate, ironically, is the one part of the legislative branch of the federal government that I know, not as much. In terms of what they do at the beginning of every Congress. I know what the House does, to a T, like how I said before. The clerk gavels them in. They establish a quorum. And they nominate, each side nominates a speaker. And then the whole House votes by surname with a voice vote. Although sometimes some members will extend and elongate their vote by giving out some bullshit. And then once the speaker has been elected by a simple majority of at least 218, then the House can officially do its proceedings. Or whatever a simple majority is. But, for the Senate, I actually don't know what they do. So I'm going to attempt to focus a little more on the Senate. Oh, God. So, yeah, we're going to focus a little more on the Senate for this one. Just so I can see what they do when they gavel in at 12 noon on that day. And if I do have to work it, then I will have to request it off, which luckily it should be fine since it'll be after the holidays. But, you know, I do have to work New Year's, but, you know, it is what it is. It's whatever, honestly. Oh, boy. Alright, so we're sitting at 50.5 minutes. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this off here. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video, whatever comes out. I'm going to show my face. Show my face. Show my face. Ooh, okay, goodbye.